Okay, welcome back to Python Scripting for Data Sciences, part 6 of the series. And those who have come to part 6, I must congratulate you that at least you have been patient enough to acquire the knowledge of Python till part 6 of the tutorial. Alright, so congratulations. And while the going gets tough, the tough get going. So we'll get going with this kind of, or with this series, right? And then we learn inshallah today also. And recently we have completed what? We completed lists, right? So today we are going to start with tuples, right? But yeah, before we get started, I want to just have a bit of recap and show you some more things that we do with lists right here. So I'll just open this new file. All right, so this is going to be my IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment for Python applications. So I'll save this as lists lists tool, right? So now what I can do, I've already shown you that we can take input from the user. For example, we have this a list here, right? So this is an empty list. If I say print, I'll say L is equivalent to list. So if I say print L, so let me see, what do I get? I get nothing. So now if I say L this, it's a blank list. So now if I say print L, so I'll get nothing at all because there is nothing in the list. So for example, let us say that we have a list or list, right? And we call this as L, all right? And now if I say that I want to print L, the L has nothing, so I will say is equivalent to, right? So you can pass elements in the list, or what you can do, you can say L is equivalent to simple this. So you can say 0 0 and, or let's say you are having this list 0 and 0, right? So I can say print L, and now if I print this L, you're getting 0 and 0, right? Okay. Now let me say if I want to take input and store it in this list, right? So for that, what I can do right here, because list is, it is mutable, so I can say list 0. So the 0th element of the list is going to take, let's say it is a value that we have given, right? Not that we are targeting this 0. Value can be anything, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, right? So it can be anything. For example, it is 1 and it is 1 at this moment in time. So I'll keep it 0 and 0, right? So now we are targeting the 0th element, L 0th element, which already has 0, but I am overriding it because list is mutable. I say input, I want to take from input, let's say about enter, enter, enter num1, and then I take it to list 1. I can say is equivalent to input, you're taking from user, enter num2. So this is how you take input from the user. Need not to terminate anything. I just have this bad habit of terminating everything, right? Alright, so now I'm getting enter num1, I'll say 10, enter num2, I'll say 10, right? So that is going into the list. Now if I have to add, I can say print L 0th element of the list has to be added, right? You're adding it to the first element of the list and give me the result. So now I'll get enter num1 10, enter num2 20. We are getting 1020. The only difference here is that we are getting 1020 because we are not taking input as integer. So if we take input as int, right, because we have to typecast it to int, as you are already aware of, we can do that as well. Now you can see clearly here, right? So enter num1 is 100, enter num2 is 200, that we get 300 result, right? So we can, even instead of storing variables or instead of storing value in variables, we can directly store values in list items, right? Or maybe in lists, right? Because they are mutable. what is list? They are mutable, we can say sequences that you can follow, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's what the list is, list of mutable or sequences that you can, why mutable? Because you can edit them, right? Okay, now that we have known the list now, we had to start with tuple today, but yeah, since I had to show you some different things. For example, now if I try and enter here, for example, if I run it again, so I'll say enter num1. How do you run? Go to run or hit F5 to run. Alright? Okay, let me just decorate it to make it more user friendly. Right? In order to make it more user friendly, decoration is very important. So I'll say 200 plus 20.0. So it is going to generate an exception. As you know, that this exception is generated only because you cannot add a floating value with an integer value. So for that, I will try and convert it to float. Alright, so now what I do, I try and convert it to float right here. So that is why now we can convert both integers, and now we can basically add integers and we can add floating point values, decimal value. We can add both of them, no problem. I'll say 100 plus 100, so we'll get 200.0. That's the only thing that we're going to get extras, right? Or if you want to add the dotted decimals, or you want to add two floating values, 12.5, I'll say plus 12 point or 12.5. 12.5 is how much? 25, right? So that's, we're getting 25.0. This is what you can do also, right? Alright, so there is a list can be of different types, but we have another thing here known as tuple, right? Or tuple or tuple. You can call it anything, but yeah, it's better to call it tuple. T-U-P, tuple, right? It's just like list, right? But yeah, it has some other features. Is, well, the number one feature of the tuple is that tuple is what? What is tuple? It is not mutable. Alright, tuple is immutable, hence we cannot change the value of we cannot change the value of a tuple, hence we cannot change it, right? Alright, so tuple is immutable, hence we cannot change the value of a tuple. Alright, and now what I do right here, I can declare tuple like this. For example, if I have to declare a tuple, let me go directly to the shell Python, and let me say if I have to declare a tuple, I will say tup is equivalent to this. Now whatever you call it, tuple name can be anything, for example list, or we can say numbers, right? So variable name can be anything, right? Anything you want, right? So I can say number is equivalent to 21, 36, 14, 25, right? So this is what my number is, right? So now if I print the number out, I get 21, 36, 14 and 25. So this is what I get, right? And now what is the difference between list and this here? For example, if I say I want to get a number tuple, and less difference will be, now I am getting it, right? But now if I say number 0, and if it's an item assignment, now it is get tuple object does not support item as assignment, right? Sorry, item assignment. So tuple is just like string. String does not support item assignments, and tuple does not support item assignments as well. Let me show you how many of you have correctly answered. So let me go back. Now we start with Amir Nazir. An array is a data structure that stores value of the same data types. It's basically the definition is correct, but list can store value of other data types as well. For example, if I go to list, I say L is equivalent to, so I'll say hello, and then I'll say 1, and here I'll say char. Here I can say 1.5. So if I echo list, it has different data types here. but yeah, all are taken as initially string, right? So correct answer, a tuple is a collection which is ordered, right? It is ordered, unchangeable. Tuples are mutable. Perfectly all right. Hubab bin Shafi. An array is a special variable which can hold many variables under a single name. A tuple is a collection. Yeah, it is basically unordered. Tuple is ordered. It's basically ordered. Yeah, it is mutable, right? Yeah. Written in parentheses. Yeah, we have written in parentheses while lists are in square brackets. Yeah, we have written list, we wrote in square brackets, and now today we created a tuple, and the tuple was in parentheses. We call them as parentheses, right? So you can see number is equal to this in parentheses. Absolutely right. Ubad Majid is an array is a list of elements with similar data types. Tuples are ordered sequences, yeah, that cannot be changed. Tuples are immutable. Right, correct. Kaiser is answering same, yeah, Kaiser, absolutely right. A tuple, yeah, it's basically okay, fine, good answer. An array is a data structure, yeah. A tuple is ordered collection of elements and it is immutable, right? Abid Nabi has answered arrays are sequences, a tuple, yeah, absolutely right. Right? We have this Asya Khan. An array is defined as a sequence. Yeah, absolutely right. Immutable. Right. Majid Bhatt, an array is a data structure to store this. Yeah, bilkul. In Python, arrays can only contain values corresponding to the same data case. We have good. Sir, there is. What is this? Is this answer? What answer is this? Did I ask this question? Good afternoon or good morning. Alright, Abid Kumar, an array is data structure that stores values of same data types of an array pattern. Yeah, a tuple is immutable sequence. Yeah, absolutely right, Abid. Imtiaz is here. An array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. Tuples is immutables and they are sequences. Yeah, it's an immutable sequence of Python object. Absolutely right. Correct answer, Imtiaz. Call is calling louder. Good. Screen is not clear. My God, maybe you have not downloaded. Nargis, what I reckon, you try and download the video first in case if it's coming blur. Or what you can do, you can go to the video. So I'll just show you. You can go to the video settings and adjust, right? This right here. You can adjust the quality, which can go up to 720 and 1080. It can be HD also. So minimum what you can do, I reckon it should be 720p. I repeat, go to the settings, select the quality to minimum 720p, right, for the higher definition videos, right? So I hope it's clear, and let's get going with tuples. You all of you have answered correctly, so congratulations for listening to me and at least trying to Google. That's what an effort is. Once you make an effort follows you, right? So that's what I told you, that those who are sitting back home and waiting for COVID-19 to end, they're basically ending their lives, because it's been already 2 months. You cannot get 2 months back, right? So rather than COVID-19 taking better of you, why don't you take better of COVID-19? So it would be better if we take better of COVID-19, all right? So now we have seen that item assignment is not supported right here, and we can say go for tuple when you don't want to change the value, right? Because since we don't change the value, so tuple, so iteration is tuple is faster than list, right? Why do you go for a tuple then, right? Tuples. So I'll copy somebody's answer, right, and paste it here for rest of you. And I allowed one answer here. Okay, let me. What happened to this? All are invisible now. Something. No, where are the comments? Maybe they're lost in the dust. So I'll write it down here for you. Okay, I will say tuples. So you can say tuples are immutable, right? And it is sequences of, right, Python objects, right? They are immutable. So now why tuples? Why do you require tuples, right? And the answer for that is going to be right. So I'll write it down. Go for tuples when we do not require, right? When we do not require the value to change, right? So we'll go for tuples when we don't want our values to change. And by then, why do you require tuples then? You can still go for list, right? Yeah. So since we don't change values, since we can, this is the important point. Since tuples, since there is, or we can say, do not change values, right? So iteration in tuple is faster than, right, lists. So now tuples are faster than lists. Why? Because item assignment is not supported. So iteration means, when I say iteration, I can say hopping. Hopping means going from, for example, if this is my list, so I'll say let's say about, now this is my tuple and this is my list. L is equivalent to, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, right? So once I say 10, 20, 30, 40, how many iterations this list has? Starting with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So when I have to move from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, so that's called as an iteration. So that iteration is faster in tuple because the item assignment is not supported in tuple, right? Whereas in list. So let me go back. Tuples are done. And we can perform those operations with tuple. Like we don't have append, we don't have pop and every single thing because they are not mutable. So they are immutable, right? And let me show you unique elements now. For example, I'll go with a set. Now, how do you go with a set? So I'll just have it here for you, tuples. So this is a tuple, all right? So this is a tuple here. Okay, let me take it to the sketch. You may require it in the near future. All right, so let me take it here. All right, so let me take it to the sketch that you may require in the future. All right, and these things are very important. Please take a note of all these things, whatever I teach you. All right, so this thing is done. So let me go back to Python now and see what else can we do. So now this is your tuple number. So now second thing is set, right? So we have now set. Now what is a set? Set is a collection of unique elements and we declare set by curly braces. So I'll say S, I can say S is equivalent to, right, 22, 23, or we can say 25, then we can have 14, right, then we can have 21, and then we can have 5. So now you can see this is a set. So if I do print of S, which is I want to print this set out, right? Now if I print this set, you can see you're getting 5, 41, 21, 22, 23, and 25. So I gave it like this. Now you can clearly see, right? You can clearly see the difference right here. So I'll show you that in MS Paint. So that is why I said list is basically the sequence of what? Yeah. It is basically the sequence or collection of unique elements. Now you can see the result right here, right? So you can clearly see the result, and this result is basically your set. Now definitions are very important here. As I said, what is a set, right? And I have to tell you about this set. Now you can see clearly that we have entered set as 22, 23, 25, 41, 21 and 5. So now what is happening right here is that you're printing 5 first, that means ordered, and then 41, then 21, then 22, 23. So we entered in a unordered way, and we are resulting in an ordered way. We are getting it automatically in an ordered way. So this is the difference right here. So the definition of set, right? Set is a collection of unique elements, right? So it is a collection of unique elements, right? Or unique ordered elements, right? Okay, so that is the set for you. All right. So now we have set never follows a sequence. Now let me tell you, it is not going to follow a sequence. First, it is following unique. All right. So set is not never and ever going to follow sequence, because I just showed you this. It's for a purpose, because 5, 41, 22. Now, if it is ordered, then it should show me, okay, it's not ordered, sorry, unordered. Why did I say ordered? Oh my god, I have lost it today, right? It's set can never be ordered, right? Tuple can be ordered, and we can have list that can be ordered, but set can never ever be ordered, right? My mistake, I take my words back. So set is not ordered, right? So that's why I have written it here, that it is a collection of unique but unordered elements. And now you can see, if I say set is equivalent to 22, 23, 25, 41, 21. So now, yeah, we are having 5 and then we are having 41. But if it is ordered, we should have 21, 22, 23, 25 and then 41. Now let me execute it for second time. You can clearly see you're getting the same. So every time you do it, it's not going to come in a real order, and there is no way that you can sort it. Right, so it is not sortable, so you cannot sort it, right? So I'll write it down. Set never follows, FOLLOW, follows a sequence. It never follows a sequence, right? It does not sort. It does not sort. It doesn't sort, right? Set can never sort, right? And it can. It does not sort, yeah, and you will always get results in a random order, right? So you're always going to get results using sets. You're always going to get results in a random order, right? So you have to remember this for your lifetime, right? So what set is, right? So just let me write it down here. Set, right? Okay, so now what else can we do with sets, right? It is faster than lists and tuples. So it's more faster. Tuple is faster than list, and here set is more faster than tuples and also lists, right? So it focuses on speed, not. So it focuses on speed. It does not focus on sequence, right? So we cannot change the values, and it is also immutable. Set is also immutable. So let me try and do something with the set. So if I want, okay, I say display set 0th item. So I will get 22. No, it is non-subscription, because there is no indexing. You cannot do this with set, right? Because if it is tuple, because tuple has a sequence, All right, it does not follow a sequence, making indexing also impossible. For example, if I give instead of set, if it is a tuple, right? So let me make a tuple by having parentheses, then it will work. You will get 22. Why? Because as 0th element is 22. But now if I make it set, it does not follow any order. I don't know what is at 0. At 0, 5 may come, maybe 25 may come. All right, so once you do not know how to follow a particular order, how can you do indexing? Now, because it is, so set is unordered, right, making the indexing also impossible. So once it's unordered, you don't know how to order it. Why are you giving an order that I want 0th element? You never know what's at 0th element, right? Okay, so now if I do the same, you can clearly see set object is not subscriptable, that there is no order, right? Or you cannot even assign anything. When there is no order, there is no item. Reassignment is not supported. You can clearly see it is. For example, if I say S0 is equivalent to 10. And now is it supported? Now you can say set object does not support item assignment. So it is also immutable, right? So it's also immutable. Set is immutable, tuple is immutable, list is mutable, and string is also immutable. So this is your definition of set. Not your definition. My God, how are you teaching me? No, you're not. So it is my definition. It is the correct definition of set, rather. Have to remember, it is the collection of unique unordered elements. Set is never followed by, or it never follows any kind of a sequence. So set never follows any kind of sequence, right? And if it does not follow sequence, it's unordered, making indexing also impossible. That means you cannot fetch set one by one. Either you can fetch all at the same time. But yeah, there is one thing that I did not show you, or I wanted to show you. For example, now I have 25 twice here, 5 is twice, 41 is one time, 23 is 22 is there. Now even if I print this set now, I'm not getting duplicate values. You can clearly see, right? So we are not getting duplicate value. That's why I read unique. Why did I write unique? Unique means you're not going to display. That is the, every single thing, be it list, be it string, be it tuple, has its own advantage and disadvantage. And the biggest advantage of set is that it is a collection of unique, but unordered, but unique. Now you can see 25 is twice, taken once, 23 is twice, taken once, 22 is twice, taken once. Now you can see the result. 21 is once, 22, 23, 25, and then you are getting 5, 45, right? So that is also possible, right? So yeah, it does not support indexing, that I already, even if I just say this, and I say I need to get this, now you can see that set is not subscriptable, means it does not support indexing, right? So you'll have to understand that, right? So what else? Set is a collection of unique elements, and yeah, every single thing is done. So now what have we closed so far, and what have we learned so far? String, integer, float, and tuples, lists, sets, and whatnot, right? Is there anything pending? No. So let me go ahead with integer and string continued. A bit intermediate level of string and a bit intermediate level of we can say integer, right? So let me tell you this, that every time you initialize a variable, a memory is allocated in the RAM. So you know that. I don't have to tell you that, or I don't have to put my emphasis on that. You already know that, right? So right, every time I declare a variable, so I'll say name, it's called as variable declaration, right? And I say name is equivalent to, okay, if I say name is equivalent to, let me say hello. So this is called variable initialization or variable definition, right? So here it is declaring a variable and it is defining a variable. So I'll write it down here. For interviews, you can say declare, because DE, declare a variable, and this is called initialize or define a variable, right? Initialize or define. So you can say I'm defining a variable here, or you can either say I am initializing a variable right here. So now what happens in your memory the moment you go and initialize any variable, or the moment you go and you declare any variable? So that is what the RAM is used for. We call RAM as volatile memory. So RAM is a volatile memory. It does not keep, RAM does not store, it memorizes, right? RAM can never ever store. It can only memorize different things. Now what we can do right here, we can write down 100, we can write down 200, we can write down 300. So these are basically the values. So values do not go inside RAM. So now what does the RAM take? I'll write it down here, random access memory. So you know that every computer has a RAM, every mobile has a RAM. Why do we require RAM then, right? So now you can clearly see, the moment we declare a variable, we say name. Now you can say name. So a space gets allocated, right? And that space has address. So let's say the address of the space is something 01x something. So this is going to be the address, right? So we call this as address, right? The moment you say hello, right? So this memory space here will get hello in it, right? So now this is how it works, right? And now what I want you to understand is that, right, so this is the declaration. So at the time when you declare the variable, memory is allocated. So normally integer type variables allocate 4 bytes in computer memory, or in 4 bytes of computer RAM memory, right? And then you say you initialize it, and then it gets the value. So it doesn't matter whether you initialize it or not, depending on the how big, or we can say depending upon how bigger the value is, the memory allocated, or the total memory size allocated may change. And now that operation can be seen here using Python. So I can directly go to Python and I can say that I want to go and see, I will use the shell. I will use simply Python shell here. So I will say a num is equal to 5. Now what is it? You are taking 5 and assigning 5 to num, right? So it's an assignment, takes place from RHS to LHS. So now if I say num has 5. So you already know. Now what if I do this ID of num? Hey, will you be able to show me the ID? ID will check the identity of the number. It is going to return the memory, right? It is going to return the memory address, the same RAM address, right? So you can clearly see 107 something something something, right? So this is what is being returned. It is the memory address, right, or the RAM address of the variable num right here. So right, so I hope it's understood. In case of Python, when we create multiple variables and the both variables are same, let's see what we get. So if I say num1 is equal to 10, that is absolutely fine. Num2 is equal to 10, that is absolutely fine. Num3 is equal to 100. All right. So now let us say I want to get ID of num1. So I'm getting ID of num1, which is different, right? So I want to get ID of num2. Now you can clearly see that it has same ID. Now will you please tell me, why does it have? That is the magic of Python. That is why we love Python so much. That Python is not easy only. Right? Python is not only easy, but Python is not only interesting, Python is not only exciting, it is memory efficient as well. Now see memory efficiency here. Let's see that Python what it does, when I check the memory allocation of this variable, which is num1, when I check the memory allocation of num1, I get this and I get this. Now in case if I show you the ID of num3, it is not, it is going to be different. Now you can see it is completely different, 584, but here you can see completely same, right? Why does it have to be same? Now that is what my question was. Why does it require to be same when I check the ID of num1, num2 and num3? Why does it require to be same then, right? So that's what my question is. Why is it same? Right? Will you be able to tell me? Right. So I will give you an answer for that. In case of Python, right? So I'll write in case of Python. Okay, I'll increase a bit of font and I will also increase color. In case of Python, when we create multiple variables, right, and if the value is same, you can see both the variables will point to same address, right? Now you can see this is a very, very important, and it means a lot. It means a lot, right? Because if the value is same, num1 has 10, yes. Num2 also has 10, yes. That is why the value of num1 is 10, the value. So instead of creating a new memory, it is pointing to the same old memory. So that is only possible in Python because it's very memory efficient. Now instead, if I say, now lname is equivalent to hello. Now instead of hello only, if I say lname is equivalent to hello, if I say two different things now, hello, and then I say lname is also equivalent to hello. So we're doing two different things right here, right now. Okay. Now what if I do this? Right? Instead of creating, had it been some other programming language, so this lname will have a different memory here because lname also contains hello right here. So it is going to point to the same memory address. So this name and this is going to point to the same memory address, hence reducing the memory size occupied by variables or taken by variables. So can we say that Python is memory efficient? Yes. Python is not only exciting, easy, but it's also memory efficient. And I have written the definition also, right? So the definition is, in case of Python, when we create multiple variables and if the value is same, right? Okay, we'll write it down here. Then if the value is same, then both the variables will point to the same address. Now I'll show you something else. So I will say f is equivalent to, it is not possible, or we can say right, fl is equivalent to hello, all right? So l is equivalent to hello. So I'll say f hello l hello f id. So I'll say id of f, please give me, and it is string, right, and id of l. Now you can clearly see that it is not only integer variables that are pointing to the same address, it is also string variables that are pointing to the same address, right? So making Python very, very memory efficient, right? Okay, I hope it is understood. Let me show you a few more examples of integers, and this is very good, right? Memory efficiency of Python, right? So let me say, if I say pi is equal to 3.14, what is the value of pi? Yeah, pi, that's 3.14, right? So if I say pi, so I'll get 3.14. So that's what we know, right? Now you can check what type is pi. So you can see I want to check the type of pi. Now you can see the type of pi is float, right? So you can have every single thing belonging to a specific type, right? When we call inbuilt, these are called as inbuilt functions. For example, we have int. What is this? This is an inbuilt function of Python, right? And now if I say what is float, it's an inbuilt function of Python. What is ID? Inbuilt. Anything that has parentheses is an inbuilt function of Python. So when I call inbuilt function of Python type, so what does it return? So I'll say Py. So what is it going to return? It returns the class and the description of the class, which is float. Now, for example, if I now make, let's say I say num1 is equivalent to 10. I say I need to get type of num1, so I'm getting int, right? So now, similar to string, you'll get string and different types, right? So data types in Python is basically my next topic. What are different data types in Python? All right, so I will just give you the hint and the definition for the different data types in Python. So let me first take a look at the timings. We are still at 40, so we will be able to complete data types in Python today, right? Now, what are data types, right? I said that every data has its type. Just like you get milk from the market, you have glass, or maybe you take a polythene, right? You will not take anything which is basically transparent, or transparent things you can take, but yeah, something wherein you can have leak, right, or which leaks. So you cannot take basket type to get milk from, or you cannot take. So, right, like you cook food in a separate container, you eat in a separate container, you drink in a separate. So that is where variables are containers. They are containers in our Python. So there are different type of containers. Integer type is there, and different. So you already seen 2 or 3 of them. So today I'll show you more data types in Python, right? So first is null. So what is null in other programming language is null. Null means it is when the variable is not assigned. So for example, if I say number is equivalent to, all right, so it has nothing being assigned. For example, I'll show you here. For example, if I say num, all right, and then I say print num, so there's nothing in, I have not assigned any value to num, so it is going to be none, all right. So that's what I say. What is null in other programming languages is null. So we can write it down here, null in other programming languages. Then we have numeric type, right? And numeric has some few more types. So I'll show you what other types. List we have seen. Tuple is a data type we have seen. Right? Set is a data type we have seen. String is a data type that we have seen. Right? Range is data type that we have to see, and we have dictiona, another data type known as dictionary that we have to see in the near future. Now we have, because it is the wrapper class, so it's being wrapped up. So numeric has further types, that is int, and we have float, and we have complex, and we have bool. So they are this is the list of data types available in Python, right? So it's not a rocket science, it's simple as anything. So let me just take this set here, so that so that you don't confuse yourselves between set, tuple, and other things, right? Okay, right, so this is different. So this is going to be right with this. All right, so this is with this, right? So this is same right here. Both the variables point to, right? Both the variables point to the same address. And now, okay, what is this? Just a moment. Oh, this is separate topic here. So I don't want you to mix up topics, right? So we have a separate topic here, and that is data types, TYPES, data types in Python, right? So from tomorrow we are going to take a bit, or maybe we're going to take a bit of pace. So we're going to increase to some extent, right? All right, now, so data types in Python, we have these data types in Python. Okay, fine. So they are the data types in Python, right? So we have seen int, we have seen float, we have seen complex. Bool we have not seen. We'll see it in the near future, maybe in 2 or 3 classes. Dictionary, range, string we have seen. So now all those we have completed are list, right? We have seen int, we have seen tuple, we have seen set, we have seen string, we have seen, and none is already, because none, when you don't supply any value, is also there. So now let's carry on. So these are the data types in Python, right? So we have already seen that, so we can print the type of any data type. Now what is complex? So now I'll just show you complex. We've seen float, we have seen integer, we have seen, right? So float is going to be, integer is going to be the same. What is complex now? Have you ever seen numbers like this, a plus bi, right? We see these numbers. So these are known as complex numbers. Right, so if I say complex, so for example, tomorrow when you learn machine learning or artificial intelligence, and there we deal with a bit of mathematics, I can say num is equivalent to 6 plus 9 j. So I'm introducing a small j right here. So now if I say what is the type of num, so you can see I am getting the type of num is complex now, because you have supplied complex data types right here, right? So I'll just make you understand what this j is and what this 9j does in the near future, in the near classes, right? And let me give you a rough now. We have come forward to 6th class, and you should know what is a Python. Take a note of it, right? Because I want you guys to clear exam at any cost and clear interviews at any cost. What is Python? It is a very high level object-oriented language. It is interpreted. Interpret means it does not have a compiler. You'll come to know that as well, but take a note of it. It is easy to read, easy to learn, similar to Perl, but it has a powerful object-oriented features, and it is very fast, and it is memory efficient, right? And it is being interpreted, right? The key features of Python. Python focuses on readability and simplicity. Python reuses the code. Now, any example of reusability of code? Now you can see reusability. Rather than assigning a new value, it's reusing the old variable. And it does not happen only once, it happens several times. So I will give you the list, and I will just give you a more detailed definition about Python, we can say. Python, definitions and theoretical definitions of Python, right? I'll share it with you tomorrow in the sketch, right? So now we have understood this, and we have understood that as well. Now let us understand formatting now, right? So if I go ahead, let me take a look at timing. So it's already been 47. Okay, let me conclude today's topic here only. Right, so I don't have time, I don't have more time left, right? So I'll share the sketch with you guys. Continue and practice. From tomorrow we are going to take a bit of pace, and we are going to go a bit fast, not too much, right? Because I have given you ample amount of time so that you can kickstart your career in Python and in IT, right? And after starting your career, it's basically slowly and steadily, it's better for us if we take the pace on. I must congratulate all those who believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. What you need to do is watch the complete lecture, practice the complete lecture. Despite of the fact you will not get 100%, even if you are getting 60-70%, is quite sufficient for me. Right, because I give you the example again, you know that I keep on giving this example to each and everyone, that if you learn book number 1 and then if you move to book number 10, at the time when you are learning book number 1 used to be tough, right? It used to be tough. It used to be hard to learn. But once you learn chapter number 10, chapter number 1 becomes easier. Now, when you move back from chapter number 10 to chapter number 1, you find it very easy. But you could not find it then when you started, right? And now, similar case, when you move to chapter number 20, chapter number 10 becomes easy. When you move to last chapter, the first chapter becomes easy, right? So you need to be patient. You need not to be hardworking. You need not to be intelligent. You need not to be nothing. Just be patient with programming, and you shall win, inshallah, right? And if there is anything that you want to tell, let me know down in the comment section, right? Okay, so now what I want from you guys is today's question, right? So question is what is formatting? what is formatting, or we can say what is formatting. That's it. So please define formatting in computers or computer programming. Now, what is formatting in computer programming, right? So that's what I want you to tell me, that what do you mean by formatting in computer programming. Comment, and you cannot take aids while answering, right? So you have specific amount of time, all right? And please answer what is formatting in computer programming, right? Do practice very hard, and answering is a mandatory for you, so do answer it, right? Because there is always a purpose behind asking questions, so you need to fulfill the purpose. And always, because your instructor is not in front of you, encourage your instructors, and so that they can make better content and deliver in a better way for you guys. And I wish you all the best. Practice hard, and let me know if I can help you down in the comment section, and also answer the question down in the comment section. And till tomorrow, then I wish you all the very best. Do pray for me and yourself. Do take good care of yourself, and practice hard. Bye bye. Take care.